The past several months, there's been a lot of attention on what congressional authorities have called mismanagement in the Bureau of Prisons. My name is Michael Santos, and I'm with Prison Professors. What we strive to do is help people who are going into that system get the best possible outcome. Even though you can read a lot of publicity about what the congressional department has been, or what the different senators have been finding, you should still be thinking about what's going to be best for you. Now, here is a clip that was just talking about this investigation. You can hear it right here.
Into conduct and abuse in federal penitentiaries. Into conduct and abuse in federal penitentiaries.
I mean, there's just a lot of information about. Let me try and stop that. There's a lot of information about what goes on to prison. Sometimes administrators don't handle the policies the way Congress intends. Sometimes there are officers inside of the institution that violate people's rights. This is just part of the journey. And as somebody who's gone through the system for longer than 26 years, I learned a lot about how to navigate it. You should start by really getting to know what goes on in the Bureau of Prisons. And you might want to take a look at this publication, which just came out this week, September the 20th. And it is a report on uncounted deaths in America's prisons and jails, how the Department of Justice failed to implement the Death in Custody Reporting Act. And this is a finding from a Senate subcommittee hearing led by Senator John Ossoff. And you can read the article yourself. I am not here to scare anyone, but rather I'm here to help people understand if you're going into that environment, you've got to be thinking about how can you advocate for yourself. And we offer that here as a sample, these different types of templated letters that you could be using to help your family members advocate for you if you're going into that system. And here's an example of a templated letter that you could modify and put personal information on if you have to go into this system. Now, the reason that you're going to want to do that is because one of the things that you're seeing that we're always doing is we're always hiring these subject matter experts, right? People that used to work or built careers inside of whether it was federal probation, the Bureau of Prisons, the federal judges. We learn a lot by hiring these people. You can find that information for free just by going to prisonprofessors.com, clicking on the resources tab, going to subject matter experts. And when you find it, you will see not only a video that we've done by interviewing the people, you will also see the questions that we asked and how they responded to those questions. And recently, after interviewing a leader of the healthcare system, we learned a great deal about what he would recommend. And what he said was, and he used to be a warden as well as leading healthcare systems, and he was a warden for 7 years. And he told me that the Bureau of Prisons is so big and there are so many hundreds of people working on there, sometimes the warden doesn't know what's going on in every area with every person serving time in every area of the institution. And so the first thing that you want to do as an advocate is make sure that you're connecting with the warden, because the warden of the institution is going to want to know if somebody's rights are, we're violating somebody's rights. So if you don't take the initiative to get that information to the warden from a responsible citizen, then you've kind of missed an opportunity to advocate for yourself in an effective way. So step one is write the letter to the warden, but have a backup plan showing that you're not going to stop if the warden doesn't act. You're going to escalate matters to a member of Congress and ask the member of Congress to advocate for you. And the reason that we recommend that is because when we hired a former warden, he told us that although he may not know something, he will tend to look into something if he hears about it from a family member. So he encourages the family members to write to him directly at the institution. But also he said if he also received a letter from a representative or a senator, then that would just put things in a much more accelerated track to find out what's going on. Of course, there's the administrative remedy program within the institution, but that can be very timely and unfortunately sometimes ineffective. So we're trying to provide you with all of the tools of advocacy. That's why we're sharing with you, a sample letter. And this is a sample letter that I could, really read and just kind of paraphrase as I go along. It's directly to the warden, and it should come from your family member first. So my name, if I'm writing it from my wife, it'd be, my name is Carol. My husband is Michael Santos. He surrendered to prison on the given date. He's serving a sentence of this long. So very quick, give them his name, registration number, where he's serving the sentence, and all that information should be at the top as well when you're putting the regarding section, so we can quickly go to it. Then you want to let him know that you are truly advocating and you're doing it in a respectful way. So you'll just start off, out of respect, we address this matter pertaining to Michael's health care, and it is addressing to you in your capacity as a warden. We pray that you will let us know that you have personally reviewed my husband's medical condition and transition him to home confinement. This is really for the CARES Act, but we don't know how long the CARES Act will be in existence. But this is an example. This is not, you have to personalize this given your own situations. What are you advocating for? And then you would insert the name, but you're also going to let them know if there is no resolution, that you are prepared to take the next step and write to both the regional office, the central office of the BOP. You're going to write to the Senate subcommittee that just investigated the BOP. And you're also going to write to your own congressional representatives and potentially the congressional representatives of your loved one if he's incarcerated in a different state. You want to be very clear about describing the situation, what's going on. Why are you writing this letter? 2, you want to provide the background. What's the background information that you would have anticipated the staff to do before they violated the person's rights? You're going to want to provide an assessment of what should have been done, and specifically insert the policy statement that will help the warden know that you're really citing policy and you don't want him to violate policy. And then you want to provide your contact information. All of that is the way that my wife used to advocate for me. You can always go to the BOP.gov website and you can get policy numbers right here just by searching the resources here. So there's policies and forms, and there's a lot of work that goes into good advocacy. But if you really want to get the best possible outcome, we encourage you to learn these steps. That's why we produce so much free content at prisonprofessors.com. You might want to participate in our weekly webinars where you can ask us anything. We can't do the advocacy work for you. We just don't have the bandwidth. But of course, our sponsors at White Collar Advice have a great team that's available for you. I'm here to give you everything that you need for free, but somebody's got to do the work. And we just want to show you how to do the work, like writing advocacy letters. And so if you go to our website at Prison Professors, you will see these different areas under the resources tab where you can get information about the former staff members. You can get information that might help you if you haven't been sentenced yet. After you're sentenced, we can give you advocacy news, information on our reentry programs. And if you're a loved one, if you've got a loved one in prison, we really would recommend that you look at our books and courses that will help your loved ones understand what steps can they take to position themselves for the best situation. So my name is Michael Santos. I was in prison for 26 years. It's one of the reasons that I am so passionate about trying to get as much free information out there as possible to help people. I do recommend that you visit us at prisonprofessors.com. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening on iTunes and you haven't seen the website, it will be a great resource for you. We publish information every day, always striving to help people get the best possible experience. So thanks so much for being a part of our community. And I just want you to know there are better times ahead. Thank you.